because knowing you, being in your world, I am pretty sure that every single thing that you're like, this is a trend, this is something people are copying, you're like, I want none of that. I want to be the complete opposite. I don't do hooks, I hate hooks. It's one of them that sticks with me a lot. And I have to go, I know this is a hook, Danielle, but hear me out a second.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you build differently to most founders online. Why is that?
Do you know what? This links to the story that I shared today on Instagram, which I'm going to turn into a reel and short and what have you. And because I'm such a completer finisher and I like to execute and get shit done, I just don't like the idea of having to constantly pull out a camera, and whether it be my phone or my Osmo, to basically create content within that moment, because it pulls me away from the real work that needs to be done in my business. And so when I'm honed in and focused, I'm just like, I'm deep in that work. And to have a camera be like, oh my gosh, like this is a content moment, take out the camera, it pulls me away from that. And I find I resent that. And so when it comes to YouTube, like I explained in the story today, I have no problem with sitting down and doing YouTube videos. Like I love this kind of stuff, and I love like doing the solo YouTube videos. For some reason, I have a love-hate relationship with short form content for sure. And that's something that I'm going to start changing because of that Yap challenge that I'm doing. But yeah, that's why I build differently, because I don't want to lose focus. And I don't want to be a content creator, even though I know I need to build awareness and put myself out there. So I've got to find my flow of doing it in a way where I'm like, okay, cool, yeah, I can get down with this.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It really is. You don't, because I have a perspective here as well. I'm like, the founders that are showing up online, especially the ones that are showing up online with the fake information and the flashiness and the flashy cars and everything, they're the founders that really want more work. You know, they're not necessarily looking to help people, they're looking to find the fastest route to success, and not always the most ethical route to success. So you saying that, you know, sometimes you haven't got time, you're in a mindset of you need to do this, need to do this, it's just because you care, and you're not just bringing out a product because you want to bring out something, you're doing it because you care about the people and you want to make a difference that is greater than just you.
Yeah, 100%, without a doubt. And, you know, it's just such a, I feel like it's just a different, it's how I operate as well. Like it's within my DNA. And so of course, to a degree, I'm like, okay, Danielle, maybe get out of your comfort zone with that. And so I'm pushing myself in different ways. But again, it has to be in a way which is authentic to me and makes sense to me for sure. So yeah.
Amazing. Interesting, because I feel like you're currently just coming back off of this, but you take breaks from Instagram.
Yes.
What are you protecting?
Yeah, what am I protecting? Okay, so I take mini breaks, and I recently took a mini break from Instagram because here's the deal as far as I'm concerned. Instagram, social media, you're digesting other people's lives. Like literally that's what it is. When you're scrolling, when you're watching something, you are digesting somebody's life, whether it's something they've created or not. And so for me, like spending that time doing that, this is why I don't follow a lot of people on Instagram, because I view Instagram from the lens of, I want to be able to build relationships with everyone that I'm following. I want to be able to have that headspace to engage with their content, to, you know, comment, to like, etc. And so that's why I operate that way. And also when it comes to Instagram, I only follow people via one account. So my family and close friends, I follow them via my private account. I will not follow them via the other accounts that I have because I don't want to see any double content. That's a waste of my time. So with Athletesia, sometimes I will say to people who we've started to build a relationship, I'll be like, look, this is how I operate. Do you want me to continue following you here or via my personal brand account? But everything Athletesia will stay here. So, you know, keep on following the brand here. And so that's what I do from that point. But when it comes to, you know, taking those breaks and why it's important is because it allows me to just have a bit of a reset and refresh and focus away from the noise of it all. And even probably what I've learned from the last break that I've took is that I'm going to be a hell of a lot more disciplined with places like Instagram because I don't want to be investing so much time on there. So I'm now going to be setting myself and saying, right, you can check in at this point, and this point. And that is it. Obviously, on days where I'm actually posting and sharing content, that's slightly different because I want to make sure that I'm keeping up with any comments, etc. But also, what I found from this mini break, which I loved, is LinkedIn.
Oh,
And this is an interesting one. I need to grab some water, but
oh, tell me more. Tell me
yeah,
more.
oh my days. So, LinkedIn. Since within that mini break, a week and a bit, I built so many incredible relationships with other founders. I have tapped into so much content that has been beneficial to me for my business. I have also reached out to a brand about a brand partnership. There's somebody else who I'm reaching out to about a potential brand partnership as well. Don't know where they'll land. We'll see what happens, but you've got to shoot your shot, right?
Absolutely.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, actually, I've now created my algorithm on LinkedIn where it makes sense for me as a founder, and that is a beautiful thing. So going on places like LinkedIn, I don't mind being on there because I know what I'm digesting. I'm like, oh, let me save this. Let me screenshot this, because it's something that is helpful and beneficial. So I'm looking at LinkedIn very differently, and I would say I want to start spending more time on LinkedIn for sure. For sure is one of my phrases, but yeah, I want to spend more time on LinkedIn.
Over Instagram? Or
Over, you know what? It's a fine line. I think Instagram, I've got a core audience that is built there. It's also linked to Athletesia with a collaboration post, etc. But I think in terms of showing up as a founder and sharing insights and the journey and stuff, I think LinkedIn is a place that I want to hone into, but I'm going to give myself time to do that. So yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Sorry, I don't know if that's part of your question where you said, what am I protecting? I think I'm protecting my peace of mind, and being able to separate the noise from, everything that goes on the platform.
Which makes sense. There's nothing else I can say that. Which makes so much sense, especially with the way that the world is. And I feel like we say this every year, but I think that things are getting more and more graphic in the sense of what we're consuming, the scarcity behind it. People are falling for marketing less, so marketing is getting even stronger. And so, peace of mind.
Yeah, peace of mind.
Talk to me about batch filming and shoot days.
Yes. So with my YouTube content, I batch record everything. And that's because it's so easy for me to sit down in one sitting and do, 5 or 4 long form content videos. I love YouTube. I have to say, I love YouTube. And that's why it was important today doing this content shoot day to do long form content, because now I've got 4 weeks worth of content that I can drop one a week. And so it just helps me to know, right, the content is done. It's ready to go. I can breathe and I can focus on everything else that I need to, my video editor, etc. She's going to deal with what she needs to. Then it's just a case of scheduling it and seeing what happens from there. And, short form content, when I was in a good space and I was consistent, then I was batch recording that. I think I'm going to try and take a different angle this time with doing some batch and doing things off the cuff, but I'm going to see how I get on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
Interesting. Batch for YouTube makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So much sense, because obviously the amount of time it takes, the length of the video, the context. But with social media, you're right. I think it's important to have some wiggle room. I think it's important because I feel like social media is such a good expression of you in the moment. It's meant to feel quite instant. It's meant to feel like people have access to, you in a different way, I'd say.
Yeah.
A little bit of a less polished way. So it makes sense with the Yap challenge for you to be putting more out there that's a little bit different.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's interesting that you mentioned polish, right? Because I think we spoke about this before, where authenticity doesn't mean struggle. And I think there's this whole thing where it's like people, why does she show up like this? And you should just show up like this. Look, at the end of the day, let me tell you something about me. 9 times out of 10, I'm rocking like I'm a boy, okay? I'm hooded out. I, got my glasses on, my trainers on, no makeup and all the rest of it. This for me, this is a moment for me. Do you get what I mean? This is why I love to be able to, put my makeup on and wear my lipstick for my YouTube videos. It's part of my personality and who I am. And so there will be content like the one that I shared today where I'm putting cream on my face, dry face with toothpaste juice down my arm. I looked after, I was like, I'll still go that regardless. And so I think it's just a mix of that, and it's appreciating that. However a person decides to show up is their choice and it's okay. But I do get the whole thing as well of having a mix and blend of just coming online like I did this morning and being like, hey, here's what I'm thinking about. So yeah, I get all the different sides of the coin.
Having a balance,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
It's definitely something I teach as well. So.
You do, yes. And you live by it as well.
I do,
You do
yeah.
it too.
I do a
Yeah.
bit of a mix.
Yeah.
Do a bit of a mix.
Definitely.